Thursday, September 24, 1959. For nearly 2 years now on Space Report, I've been giving you details on that enigma of the age, the unidentified flying object. Like the UFO that hung over Redmond, Oregon for at least 2 hours early this September morning.
Now, where did you see this unidentified bright object in the sky? Can you point it out to us?
Yes, it was right off in this direction, right out east of Redmond on the Prineville Highway. It came close to the ground and it stopped. And at that time I pulled over to the side of the road and stopped the car and watched it.
It had moved from where you first saw it?
Yes, it had moved in this direction east towards Prineville over Powell Buttes.
Well, I'd say it was a round gold object that I knew it wasn't a star because it was too large, and it was a little above the horizon in the east, southeast, and that's about all there was to it.
And your sheep herder saw it?
Well, yes, a few days after that we were talking here, and he asked me if I saw that in the sky, and he said he saw it take off, and he said it just shot real fast to the east.
Yes. Do you believe in the possibility of flying saucers?
I believe in possibility of almost anything in the sky these days. You know, there's so many things that come to pass, and the government puts so many things up in the air.
The Air Force will not confirm reports that the Federal Aviation Agency log shows radar contact was established from 2 ground stations, and that anywhere from 1 to 4 radar contacts were made by jet interceptors. One of the big-name private groups looking into the Redmond affair is the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomenon in Washington, D.C., who recently accused the Air Force of deception in their evaluations of UFOs. A member of their Board of Governors, retired Vice Admiral R.H. Hillenkoetter, urged that the Air Force be forced to reveal all their findings, stating, quote, "It is time for the truth to be brought out in open congressional hearings." The Admiral is well qualified to bring out the truth. He used to head the top-secret, hush-hush Central Intelligence Agency. That the thing seen over Redmond might have been a real machine under intelligent control from somewhere in outer space has been pointed up quite dramatically by the instituting of a new and systematic search for intelligent life on other worlds. Called Project Ozma, the government-sponsored search has begun on the multi-million-dollar radio telescope at the National Radio Astronomy Observatory at Green Bank, West Virginia. Dr. Frank Drake, who heads the project, states flatly that he expects to receive intelligent radio signals from planets of other suns. As Dr. Drake puts it, there's someone out there. We're not alone.
September 1955. During a night shift in Redmond, Oregon, police officer Robert Dickerson noticed a strange light in the sky.
And right in this area, I seen it was a bright light. It was coming down. I thought it was something going to hit the ground. I didn't know what it was, you know. The object was longer than it was high, you know, something like a football. It was bright. You could see, looked like heat waves coming off it. There was kind of, you know, some different, it would change colors a little bit.
Dickerson drove to the airport, where Flight Services Specialist Laverne Wirtz was on duty.
I was looking at it mostly, I think, from like a side view. If you took like 2 saucers and put them concave like this and leave just a little space around it, that would be about the form that you would have. And I remember the lights kind of being on the rim, like on the rim of it, and it would change color there from like orange to kind of a yellow, and then, like Bob had mentioned, real bright, like kind of like an arc, and you could see the waves, kind of heat waves from it.
The object was also sighted by a radar station, which alerted the Air Force.
Within a few minutes, several jet fighters were dispatched, 6 in total.
Radar led the fighters to the target. Then they saw it themselves on their screens in the cockpit.
Oh, it was shortly after that they contacted me on the military frequency on the console, and I talked to what I would assume was the lead pilot.
At least 2 pilots saw the UFO. In the first light of dawn, they flew towards it.
They made an approach to it, and I know at least 2 of the jets did, and I know at least one of them had to take evasive action so they wouldn't be on collision course. And I remember another one stating that we call it vortex. It's the displacement of the air by something that made him almost lose control, and he had to take corrective action in his jet to recover.
The UFO ascended at great speed, but remained visible on the radar screens for a while longer. Then it left the range of the air traffic controllers at a height of over 15,000 meters.
The official Air Force explanation, the first one, was that pilots had been scrambled to investigate what turned out to be false radar returns. And that's all. Now, this was a problem because reports had immediately come out locally of the airport officials in checking for radiation. So the question arises, well, why would they be checking for radiation at the scene when it was supposedly false radar returns?
The next explanation was that Wirtz and Dickerson had seen a weather balloon.
They come up with, first of all, it was a weather balloon. And I'm sure everybody here is familiar with weather balloons. You know, they go up with helium, and they go with the wind. You know, they don't ascend, descend, they don't move sideways.
Furious, an unknown superior of Laverne Wirtz at the Federal Aviation Authority sent all the records of the incident to a UFO group.
Faced with that explanation, the Air Force reprimanded the FAA for supposedly issuing false information, and then said, well, no, actually what they all saw was simply the planet Venus.
The Air Force was kind of trying to downplay this and make us look just a little bit stupid, that we were incompetent and really didn't know what we were doing.
The case made headlines only in the regional press. UFOs were no longer a topic for serious journalists.